This podcast is part of the Red 5 Network. For more Red 5 Network podcasts, visit red5network.com.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Another happy landing.
Welcome to the Escape Pod, episode 55, the Snyder Cut. Clankety clank, bitch.
They got some of that when I remembered to turn your mic on.
Oh, that's fan-fucking-tastic. Oh, well. Welcome.
We're still big Lovin and DellaSnooch, though.
Yeah, that's true. That hasn't changed.
Yeah, I do have on the Never Dab Again t-shirt.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It is a good shirt for a good cause.
It's a good shirt. It's a good shirt.
Oh, man. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing real good.
I'm doing fantastic.
Did you already tell everybody who's going to be on the show later on?
Oh, no. Joining us later on, we'll be joined by, I keep looking at the friggin' TV instead of the camera. It's going to happen for a little bit. We got a new setup going in here. Oh, I'm getting confused. It's okay. But Kev and Brad of the Force Losers podcast will be joining us here shortly once we get through our everyday rigmarole of Wednesdays.
Oh, we got...
Go. Shut up. No, I'm just playing.
Got somebody new already in the chat. Welcome, Gamer Girl 23.
Oh, hello there.
You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and all your favorite podcasting apps like iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, and Audible, and Google Play. You can check out the Red 5 Network for all kinds of excellent podcasts, like From a Certain Point of View and A Star Wars Journey with Ashley and Brandy.
And
Brandy.
I am 14 minutes away from finishing their last episode. I've been listening to it since I got out of work.
Have you?
Well, off and on since
9.
The one that's
the one that came out today.
Yeah, the one that came out today. So,
I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah, I'm into it. It's good. I like their views and perspective on it. It's fantastical. So I recommend 100% to go check them out.
Yeah, definitely.
Hell yeah. If you're listening to this as an audio podcast, please consider joining us live on Wednesday nights on YouTube at youtube.com/c/ATSW, the Escape Pod, all one word. And we're normally on about 7:05-ish Eastern.
Yep. Please join us at patreon.com and search ATSW, the Escape Pod, in the search creator bar to support the show and get in on the exclusive Escape Crate.
Nice. Please visit our store. Please visit our store on TeePublic. Search the Escape Pod and make sure that you scroll down and look at all the random goodies like phone cases, pillows, and tote bags, in addition to t-shirts and hoodies.
Definitely.
You want to get into our chat shout-outs?
Yeah, definitely. In the chat, we've got Used and Abused Pod.
Nice.
We got Jess Jen,
Hello.
Lunar Girl,
What's
Gamer
up?
Girl 23.
Nice to see you.
Jess, and Darius.
Oh, that's my son.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that makes sense. He would do that. That's fantastic. I'm glad you're joining.
Gamer Girl 20.
Oh, he does weird shit like that.
Yeah.
He's my kid.
We got Darius, and I believe that's the old man Johnson just checking in.
Oh, what's up, dude? Thanks for joining, brother.
Nice.
Now let's get into some other shout outs. Let's get into from a Gen X point of view, or the mothership with Dave and Jason. That is the homies. That is our New Jersey Delphians. They got their last ATSW, supposed last ATSW. They're talking about rolling things and doing things. Who knows? But it's supposedly the last one, so let's check that out Monday. So make sure you tune in Monday.
Yep.
What time? Oh, shit. Normally they go at like 6
or 4:30 if that's what they feel like doing.
It sometimes happens.
I'm like,
a lot of times
getting out of work.
Hey, we're getting on early.
Yeah,
like,
we're getting the band
fuck?
bags together. What the fuck?
Next, check out Use and Abuse with Kim and Scott. They just did their last episode. It was a Halloween flick. Oh my god, Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat, yeah.
From 1986, I think was what I was able to tune in. I was in and out cooking dinner, doing what I could, but I was tuning in, checking out. It was a good episode. So check out our people's Mr. Kim, Mrs. Kim, and Mr. Scott for Use and Abuse.
Yeah, I put that on while I was working out here.
Yeah, nice. Check out Layman's Terms on Facebook for our man Keith. He's doing his thing. He's the man to bring you that mana because we all need a fucking little life. Next, check out Big Swede's Excellent Adventure and or Tactical Swede and Swede Reacts on YouTube. And what the fuck? Baby Pouncer 3000? What the hell?
Baby Puncher.
Baby, you didn't spell it right.
I spelled it wrong.
Oh my gosh,
You remember
man.
the Baby Puncher bit last week?
I vaguely.
See? You had too much Swede.
That's ridiculous. Is he punching babies now?
No, I doubt he is.
Oh my god.
I did.
Jesus, man.
Well, you know, it is what it is, bro.
It is. Jesus.
I love it when a bad joke fails.
Yeah, because you don't know how to spell.
Yeah.
Apparently. I thought you were the adult in this friendship and you can't fucking spell.
Words are tough.
No shit.
I was sober when I fucked that up.
That's no bueno.
Patreon shout outs. Scott and Kim Rasmussen, Todd Lovin, Jen and Jess Bolt, Big Swede, Lunar Girl, Dragon Buddy, Richie the King Arm Brewster, Ron Oldman Johnson, Eric Dub Williams, Philly Dave Martin, and as always, sponsoring the Escape Crate Nostalgia Inc.
Hell yeah. Thanks for the Patreon ship, if you will, if that's a real word. Can I use that word?
I believe the word would be patronship.
Yeah, fuck you.
Okay.
You want to hit the button?
No.
It's movie time. Movie time. It's movie time. Movie time.
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck
As
yeah.
usual, movie time is one of our favorite times.
Movie time is one of the best times ever. So with that being said, let's get into the movie news, man. The Knives Out sequels are officially happening. Netflix is paying $450 million for the rights. Director Ryan Johnson and star Daniel Craig are returning.
So expect a little sexual harassment with your Knives Out.
I'll do it. I'll sexually harass you. Put my hand on your thigh.
Oh, geez. Oh, it's that kind of party.
It is that kind of party.
John Walker actor Wyatt Russell receives death threats after playing Captain America.
Good, he got mine. What? No, I'm just joking. I didn't do that.
We got like 4 fans and we get death threats from 3 of them.
It happens. Oh, well, what are you going to do? It is hot as balls in here, man.
You think so?
Oh, my Lord, I'm sweating.
Let me turn the air on.
Oh, turn it on. Turn that air on.
Turn it on.
But yeah, dude, I don't like Mr. John Walker. He is not number one on my list.
No, he's a real not good. I was gonna say he's a real dick, but Wyatt Russell is fine. He just is not.
Yeah, no, just his character of his portrayal of the new Captain America is,
especially in this new episode, which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
The Batman reportedly set on DCEU's Earth 2.
Nice. Good to know.
Which is why it's not going to have crossover with like the Josstice League.
Okay, good, because I needed confirmation of that. Fantastic. Sylvester Stallone confirms he will not be in Creed 3.
Yeah, but you know why?
I'll burn your fucking face, Jason.
Jason Roscom in the chat.
Yeah. Burn your Raider head. How about I burn your fucking face?
He doesn't mean it. Kind of, he does.
No, I mean it.
So I don't know what the fuck. Is Sylvester Stallone all of a sudden too busy to do his bit part in Creed?
He's probably just like producing, directing, doing something. He probably has some, like, he's getting paid to still do shit. He's probably still a part of it in some way or another form. Yeah, because it all comes from the Rocky franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely. Maybe he's just like, I don't want to get out of bed. Stupid.
Possible.
Into the Spider-Verse 2 will feature 90s animated Spider-Man.
Yeah. This news broke a few hours ago. And this is awesome. I'm excited because I used to be a fan of the 90s TV show, the animated series. So I'm really excited that they're bringing that voice actor back. So that's going to be really cool. He's from what the article said, he's only supposed to have a few bit parts in it, but he's going to make his little on-screen return at the end when they all, do the inevitable team up thing.
Sure.
So that sounds
I don't know why
awesome.
Jason's yelling hello in the chat.
Yeah, not burning the hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't burn the hat.
No.
So the new Loki trailer came out. What was your take on the new Loki trailer?
I am pumped to see it.
I'm in the same boat. I was not particularly excited to see this show, but given the quality of WandaVision,
Right.
and then Falcon and Winter Soldier, the idea of a Loki TV show, and then the quality of this trailer.
Yeah.
I'm jacked.
The trailer made it look good. What's his name? Owen Wilson. I'm already digging his character.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks like
Yep.
he's gonna definitely poke the bear,
Mhm.
and I enjoy that.
In general, I like almost everything that the Wilson brothers are in.
Oh yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
Also, we got a new Black Widow trailer.
Yes. Really, right now I'm just like, hurry up. I've been waiting. Like seriously, I don't need.
We've been out here waiting.
I don't need any more of your fucking trailers. Hurry up and show me the movie.
Yeah, July. We're getting it in July.
Why? Why is it taking that long? This was supposed to come out how long ago?
It's been ready.
Yeah, exactly. That's stupid. Come on, just put the damn movie out.
They're gonna bring it out on HBO Max and in theaters.
Good.
Which this is the only thing I'm wondering about July. I'm wondering if they're not dragging their feet, hoping that they feel enough people have been vaccinated
to go see
that they can fill the theaters and they can not release on HBO Max.
They're still gonna release it. It's inevitable. Fuck off. You better just put this fucking movie out.
Fuck off.
I've had enough, really. Like, I want to see it, but like, hurry the fuck up.
There it is, everybody. Brady's official opinion is fuck off.
Kinda.
Power up.
I'm bad.
Oh man, PS5, Xbox Series X component shortages to last until mid 2022 or later.
Like, what in the fuck?
That's ridiculous, dude.
I mean, I know COVID's a thing or whatever, but come on.
You should have been prepared. The same thing happened when the Xbox One and the PS4 were released.
Mhm.
You had a shortage then. You need to know, like, who the fuck is doing the research for these people?
The fucked up thing is we're talking, I don't know, 20 months.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You know, like you can't get ahead of the curve in 20 months.
Yeah,
like,
that's stupid.
maybe you could let people work overtime.
Maybe you need to do that.
Maybe. Or hire more people.
That's a noble thought.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I don't run the company, but if I did, people would be working longer hours probably.
Smurf on the Turf isn't happening.
Oh, you know what? There can't be Smurf on a Turf until all children have a PS5.
And that's not happening. So
I mean, all the children.
all the children.
Like, the whole world.
I like it. Let's shake on that. Sounds good.
If all the children in the world
Get a PS5, then
Smurf on the Turf
happens. I like it. Yeah. Simple.
Fair.
We finally came to an agreement. There you go, Jess.
We still have to get Smurf on the Turf shirts made for Jess.
Or Jess. We'll do it.
Cyberpunk 77 is still broken, and after numerous fixes, it doesn't seem to be getting that much better. One of our insiders say that even with the bugs being fixed, there's still plenty of broken things. The game is far from what they promised during the years of hype. Promised RPG elements are missing. The city feels hollow and lifeless, and multiple life paths are just meaningless.
Yeah. I've heard people who've kind of completed the game and they're like, there's no reason to go back to it for like, you fucked up.
Yeah. This was
like you guys dropped the ball big time.
This is a big fucking failure. And if I remember correctly, isn't this CD Projekt Red?
I think so. Yeah.
Like, you know, they did so fucking good on The Witcher, and then this is what they fucking did.
Yeah, they really screwed the pooch on this one, man.
There's a video game that came out 2 years ago. I can't remember what the fuck it was. It's like the third one, and it's something to do with space. It's like an RPG.
Gears of War?
No, It's an RPG game in the vein of like Fallout-y.
I'm not picking it
and
up.
I can't think of what the fuck it's called, but the third one like had all this hype around it, and then it came out and it was nothing like what the previous two games were.
Right.
And everybody was Mass Effect. Jason Roscom, Mass Effect.
There you go.
Mass Effect 3 was like this giant fucking disappointment to the fan base. And I kind of feel like the same thing with Cyberpunk 77, where the promises were just too high and the studio just muffed it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they, like I said, man, can't say it any more than we just did. They screwed the pooch.
They fucking screwed the pooch. Pooch screwed.
These are the hot sheets. Best investigator reporting on the planet.
Yeah.
Killmonger is rumored to become the next Black Panther and train Shuri. That's according to We Got This Covered. So we'll see. But I have heard that. I don't know if it was from that. I don't think it was from that site, but I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that in the internet rumblings.
Yep.
So
the stuff with Shuri has like definitely been getting kicked around like since the passing of Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, yeah. Which is a good plan. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I'm all for a Shuri movie. Quentin Tarantino's Star Trek movie is reportedly moving forward, and it's going to have Chris Pine at the helm.
So I wonder, is a continuation of the last ones that have been going that J.J. Abrams have been doing?
I think so, but I think this one is supposed to be rated R.
Ooh, fancy.
So we're going to get like, I don't know.
Sexy Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek World War 7 or some shit.
I just like a sexy Star Trek rated R. Maybe they bump it up to NC-17. We haven't had one of those in a while.
Spock's going to be walking around naked, living long and prospering.
Oh my God. Fantastical. I want to see this.
This could be a thing. Speaking of which, the Salty Nerds podcast spent a whole episode talking about Star Trek. And me, I'm not a Star Trek fan, but I like the movies. And I'm just listening to them talk about it, and I'm just like, yep, I'm just not the fan that you guys are. They're talking about it with the reverence that we have for Star Wars,
right?
And it just feels a little bit, I don't know, like they're having sex with the wrong girl or something.
What the?
It's just fucking weird to me.
Yeah. So let's get past that.
Yeah, past it.
Okay, so the WB reportedly planning a Mortal Kombat cinematic universe. That seems to be the thing to do.
Yeah, yeah. Now, will we see it?
If you do it right, it's great. But if you're like, oh, we got to beat Marvel and do this and that, just do it to do it. If it doesn't make sense, it's not going to make sense to us.
Right, right. I think the Liu Kang movie is going to be a bit short on stuff. So we'll see. According to giantfuckingrobot.com, giantfrickingrobot.com, inside sources say the studio wants Kurt Russell to come back for a new Stargate feature film.
Yeah, that was a family favorite for my family. Stargate with Kurt Russell. That was some.
Yeah,
that was.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Don't you fucking get at me like that. Ryan Reynolds and Millie Bobby Brown reportedly eyed for live action Thundercats movie.
And I'm excited about that.
Anything with Ryan Reynolds, I'm down.
Well, I'll watch a bad Thundercats movie.
Yeah, I will too. Because it'll be fun.
That's one of my favorite cartoons from, there's Transformers, G.I. Joes, then Thundercats.
I remember watching Thundercats. I remember having the toys, but I do not for the life of me remember any of the cartoons.
Yeah. See, I like the cartoons.
I can picture them playing in my head, but I could not tell you an episode.
Yeah.
No, I just have none of that just rings a bell at all.
See, I'm like that with Masters of the Universe. I liked the toys when I was a kid. I didn't have any affection for the show. I still don't. Like, I watch it and I go, oh, I understand why I didn't like the show. But I know a lot of fucking people, like, that's their show. Like my buddy Joe, that's his show. Right. G.I. Joe and Transformers, but Masters of the Universe,
nice.
That's his jam.
Yeah.
That's why he picks up heavy things and moves them and sets them down and picks them up again and moves them again. Sports.
And now it's time for Sports Talk with your hosts, Dangerous Don Juan DellaSnooch, beautiful Brady Lovin, here on the Escape Pod.
Yes, bitch. Sports.
Fuck yeah. It just sounds so sports.
It does.
It sounds so sports. And I don't know Darius. I haven't met him other than through the Facebooks and through the chat and everything like that. But like, he doesn't look like a sport dude. Like, I know the things he's into. He posts about a lot of the shit he's into. He just doesn't look like a sports dude, but he kills it with this.
Well, you know what his sport of choice is?
What?
Wrestling.
Oh, I definitely, I can see that.
So when you listen to that and you think of it in the vein,
If you think it in the wrestling vein, it
Yes,
makes 100%.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. You've got me there. I'm in.
you see that?
I mean, I was in before.
Congratulations to Baylor University for winning the 2021 NCAA Men's Championship.
And congratulations to Stanford for winning the NCAA's Women's Championship.
And there ain't shit else happening in sports.
There you go. There's sports.
Right. So let's get into Falcon and the Wednesday Soldier this week. Power Broker, directed by Carrie Scoglin and written by Derek Kolstad.
Unbeknownst to Wilson, Barnes orchestrated a prison riot to help Zemo escape, and he agrees to help stop the Flag Smashers. They travel to Madripoor, a criminal sanctuary city island, and meet the high-ranking criminal Selby.
She reveals that the Power Broker hired former Hydra scientist Dr. Wilfred Nagel, and they recreate the super soldier serum. Wilson's identity is exposed by Sarah's call. Shelby's killed, and the bounty is
Selby.
Yeah, what'd I say? Shelby. Yeah, Selby is killed, and a bounty is subsequently placed on Wilson, Barnes, and Zemo as they escape.
Was it put in Bitcoin, or was it just like, did I miss that?
I don't remember.
Because it looked like a Bitcoin symbol when you saw the the text message.
I didn't think about it.
It looked like a Bitcoin thing to me. I could be wrong.
I would imagine it would be at least some kind of cryptocurrency.
Right.
They're in that pirate city that doesn't follow the laws of anywhere else on the planet.
Yeah, so possibly. Sharon Carter, who has been living as a fugitive, saves them from bounty hunters and bring them to Nagel's lab. They learn he recreated 20 doses of the serum, which Morgenthau stole. Zemo unexpectedly kills Nagel and the lab is destroyed, but Zemo steals a getaway vehicle. That shit was awesome.
It was definitely.
He was like, boom, I am done with your shit. You are not making any more. I'm gonna put it. Yeah. He's like, I don't have the hero complex at all.
Yeah. He didn't even second guess himself. No. He's like, yeah, you're dead.
You're fucking done.
Carter stays behind, and Wilson agrees to obtain a pardon for her. Walker and Hoskins arrive in Berlin and deduce that Barnes and Wilson help Zemo escape, while the Flag Smashers raid the Global Repatriation Council storage facility in Lithuania for supplies. Zemo, Barnes, and Wilson travel to Latvia in search of Morgenthau. Barnes recognizes Wakandan tracker devices in the street and confronts Dora Milaje, who demands Zemo.
You killed it.
Did I?
I think you did a great job.
I can't believe I should have pre-read that.
I'm glad you didn't.
There were so many fucking names in that. I'm like,
you did it. You did it. You did it. Sounds good. Let's talk about some Easter eggs, my friend.
Eggies.
Wilfred Nagel was first introduced in Truth, Red, White, and Black, the same story that introduced Isaiah Bradley to the Marvel Comics canon. Nagel was the one in charge of trying to recreate the super soldier process. He was the monster who killed hundreds of black soldiers until succeeding by turning Isaiah Bradley into a super soldier.
That was fucked up.
Yeah, super fucked
up. That was some Cap canon that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's got to be something they made up for this.
No,
fucking
it's
legit.
It's a real canon. Yeah, it's real Cap canon. That's crazy.
The Super Soldier program is written to evoke the horrors of the Tuskegee experiments, and the goal was to observe the natural history of untreated syphilis in black populations. But the subjects were completely unaware and were instead told they were receiving treatment for bad blood, when in fact they received no treatment at all. What in the fuck, America?
That's so fucked up. That's so fucked up.
Jeez.
That's ridiculous. Falcon is annoyed that Bucky won't move his seat up. Their roles were switched during Captain America Civil War.
That shit was funny.
That was hilarious because I picked up on it like during the episode. I thought that shit was funny as hell. This is the first time we see Zemo wearing his trademark purple mask. In the comics, Helmet Zemo was horribly burned by adhesives during a fight with Captain America and would hide his mutilated face within the mask.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that he has this mask.
Right.
Pre-burns.
Right.
You know, I was like, because that's something I remember from back in the day that he was all fucked up.
Yeah.
So the fact that he had the mask before he got fucked up makes it slightly less cool that he had the mask to me.
So do you think he's going to get burned or they're just going to not go that route?
I think they're probably going to skip it because that dude's got a little bit of cred. And I bet you he's like, don't cover my pretty face.
Yeah, probably. He's like, yeah, let's not do that.
My face makes me money. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Bucky suggests that they could wield Cap's shield. He has done it a few times in Cap films, and there's a history of it in the comics, including a run where Buck was Captain America.
Yes. Bucky has Cap's personal notebook and is now keeping his own notes in it, which he needs to make amends for. This is the first episode of The Falcon and Winter Soldier written by John Wick franchise creator Derek Kolstad, and he writes Sharon Carter as a female version of Wick.
This whole episode had a very John Wick kind of.
It very much had that feel.
Yep. And of the 3 episodes so far, this is my favorite.
Yeah.
It was the one that felt the most like a film scope, because the first one was kind of like some backstory, real small set kind of stuff.
Right.
The second one, I just struggled with.
Yeah.
I need to go back and watch it again.
I think you do.
I think my attitude sucked, and
Yes.
maybe that affected the way I looked at the.
I can surely.
And
see
this
that.
episode, I was like, "This is great."
Yeah, it was fantastic.
In case there's any doubt who holds a lot of influence in Madripoor's Lowtown, there's some prominent graffiti that promises the power broker is watching. And there's still 3 blank slots in the end credits. One of them is for whoever's playing the power broker.
Nice. We see a harder now Captain America-like version of John Walker.
That should say not Captain America like.
You need to fix this shit. You're making me look stupid.
My bad.
Thanks, man. Very not hero-like. Both you and him. Madripoor is one of the most famous fictional locations in all of Marvel Comics history, first appearing back in New Mutants number 32 in 1985. It has pretty much always been primarily associated with the X-Men throughout its history, and more specifically Wolverine.
Yeah. Yep. There's
Wolverine,
a lot of Wolverine.
They have the bar. I can't remember the name of it. Something Smile or something like that.
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's the bar they go to in this.
It was next to
episode.
the bar. You see it. It just kind of pans across it.
Falcon is annoyed because his Madripoor outfit makes him look like a pimp. For a time, Marvel retconned it so that when Steve Rogers met Sam Wilson originally, he was actually a pimp named Snap Wilson.
Hell yeah.
Bucky follows a trail of tech breadcrumbs at the end of the episode after previously warning Sam that Wakanda hasn't forgiven the killing of King T'Chaka during the attack orchestrated by Zemo and Captain America Civil War. This will likely complicate matters as they try to get the hell out of town.
Hell yeah.
You want to shout that out?
Special shout out again to the Den of Geeks for all these great Easter eggs.
Yep. We really appreciate what you guys are doing over there, even though, we're not paying for this nifty shit.
I don't need to pee.
All right. Yeah, let's go right into it.
Let me get another drink.
Will you grab me one?
Yeah.
While Brady's doing that, I'm going to bring in Kev from the Force Losers podcast.
The fuck?
Hey.
What's going on, dudes?
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, man. Just got home from work. Literally, like, just now. And, yeah, now I'm here.
Nice. We're happy you're here. And then I'm going to bring in Brad from the Force Losers podcast.
What?
Hey, Brad. How you doing?
Scooch that camera over there.
I was about to say, gotta scooch the camera. Now I'm good. What's
Hey!
going on, guys?
Nice. This is the first time I've talked to you, Brad. How you doing?
What the fuck?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Oh,
Taking care
that's-
of a baby.
that's
Always
cool.
fun.
Yeah. I was talking to Don about that earlier. I was talking about how being a new dad must be fulfilling in a lot of different ways than you expected.
Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, I had to change shirts because she spit up on me, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Absolutely
It
not.
takes a lot of damn time to be a dad.
Yeah.
I have
I
no
did it.
frame of reference here. When I got home, I blazed, and that's what I did.
Fantastic.
I've done the dad thing twice. Brady's on like number 7.
No, I've got 5.
Damn.
11?
Well, no, have you ever had sex? It's a lot of fun.
It's fucking awesome.
I mean, like I've always said that Brad and I are the antithesis of incel culture. We prove that it's not a thing because we found women to touch our dicks.
Yeah, see?
Like all you have to have is a bang up personality, be funny. I mean, you can look like a chud, but if you're like not a dickhead, then
Right.
you're pretty much in.
Yeah, I found a woman that'll talk to me, so I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely didn't deserve it.
I got to do it a few times, so I feel good about everything.
Brady had sex with at least 2 different girls.
Yes, I
Oh,
got proof.
damn.
I've got
Wow.
proof.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 2 up on me.
Good on you, buddy.
All right, well, we brought you guys on to talk about the new Jack Snyder.
Jack Snyder.
Jack Salmon.
Jesus, man.
Zack Snyder Justice League movie that came out what now 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. Yeah.
I figured, or we figured that we'd give people time to watch it in the wild and digest it before we spoiled the shit out of it.
Well, it's
I
because
mean,
it
do you-
takes
do
like
you
3
count-
weeks to watch.
Yeah. I mean, do you count the time when it came out under the Tom and Jerry title? Or
The Tom
and Jerry.
Did it?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
Yeah, there was
No.
like a
For-
malfunction.
Yeah, for like a day or two, if you tried to watch the Tom and Jerry movie, it was Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I wish I would have known about that because I was getting ready to go out of town the morning that it came out. So I'm like packing stuff, and then I'm sitting down watching an hour and a half, and then I'm packing stuff, sitting down, and then I woke my wife up, got her ready to go, car all packed, sat down, finished watching it. I could have watched it a whole day in advance.
I think it was more than a day. I think it happened like a week before it was supposed to come out, but they took it down after that first day.
Holy
Damn it.
crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
Someone definitely got a demerit on that one.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Exactly.
Now I did
to be
watch
fair,
that Tom and Jerry movie. It wasn't that fucking bad.
That's what I've heard from everybody who's seen it.
I'll have to watch it now.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, I take the same attitude as I did towards the Sonic movie. Like, I'm sure it's good. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's not my alley. I was never a big Tom and Jerry guy, so I was an itchy and scratchy guy, so I could take it or leave it.
Fucking A, man. We are in good company right now. Because I always throw Simpsons references out, and Brad just doesn't get it. So thank you guys.
I get it. What the hell? I have them on DVD. How do I not get them?
Oh wait, I must be thinking about someone else. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I'm high. Shut up.
Fuck off. Makes sense.
Like,
It makes
Brad
sense.
doesn't
It's all
get the
good here.
Simpsons references. Yeah, I do.
Brad's got a drink, a beverage container almost the size of yours, Kev.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm a bad influence. I get people to be hydrated and, things like that. What's in there right now, Brad? Is that water?
Yeah, it's just water.
Oh, fuck. I was really hoping you'd be rocking like a full thing of Crown in there.
I think you already know the last thing I need to do is waste money on booze of any kind.
This is true. It does nothing to you.
No.
I'm getting to where I drink about 4 of these a day.
Good man.
Okay.
Good man. I'm, for the purposes of health, this is 0 calorie dew. So
Yeah, see?
I'm only slightly poisoning myself.
For the purposes of health, I'm drinking a seltzer. So there you go.
He gave me one of those the other day. It was like water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
flavored
flavored water.
ones. The flavored ones, man. It's like every time I think it's a good idea, and I see those. I'm like, that's a good idea. It's water, but it's slightly flavored. That's great. And then I drink it. And it's like, no, I'd rather drink piss. Like it's instant regret. Like
That's
every
exactly
time.
what happened. I was like, no, you can have that. I'm just going to drink whiskey because I guess I need a punch in the face.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
What brand of whiskey?
What brand doesn't he drink?
Yeah,
Shit.
what was I drinking? Oh, I was drinking Ugly Dog bourbon.
Okay.
But I've been drinking a bunch of this 1792 lately. It's real.
I heard that's supposed to be real good.
It's real good,
Man.
and it's not like break the bank. So
yeah, the last whiskey I had, well, not the last whiskey. The last drink I had was I had to polish off my Southern Comfort that I had, and it was like right before, or it was like right after I found out my wife was pregnant.
Oh wow!
It's because I was like, she's not going to let me drink because now she can't. So
Yep.
I'm gonna put in work.
Yeah, they get mad when you do that.
Yeah.
The thing is, like,
He knows.
the thing is, like, he can drink an entire bottle of Crown and nothing happens. It is the most freakish thing. I swear to God, he was grown in a lab. Like, this should not be possible.
I forget what episode it was, but there is an episode. I actually have video of the episode. It was like our episode 3, maybe. Is when we first started. But there's at the beginning when I start, it's a full thing of Crown. By the end of it, it's maybe a quarter.
Oh my God, dude!
And it's a 4.5 hour episid. So in 4.5 hours, I almost finished off the bottle. And I still drove home. I didn't care.
That's fantastic.
That is impressive.
I'm telling you that he's not human.
Oh God, that's great.
He's probably a giant cockroach in a Brad suit. That's probably what it is.
I need some sugar right now.
And his Crown is just pure sugar.
Yep. It's the only thing sustaining him.
There's enough in there to just cause one human being diabetes.
Yeah.
I'm still standing. I'm good.
I love it. You guys ready to get into this topic?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
All right. So in 2017, we got the original Justice League movie. It's often referred to as the Josstice League, right?
Mm-hmm.
The film had kind of a crazy genesis. Warner Brothers began to develop live action Justice League film in 2007. Project was canceled because of delays and budgetary concerns. Snyder was hired to helm the film in 2014. The film started as a 2-part movie. The plan was to do like 2-hour movies.
Yeah.
Snyder's daughter, Autumn Snyder, died by suicide in March at age 20. That was 2014?
I believe
2016? 2016, I believe.
Sounds right.
So Snyder stepped away from the film, and then they hired Joss Whedon to come in. Whedon, of course, from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Firefly. Joss made a bunch of major changes to the tone of the film and also trimmed down the scope quite a bit. We lost Darkseid and ended up with Steppenwolf being the big bad.
Yeah.
So what was everybody's kind of opinion on the Justice League film when we got it?
At the time?
Yeah.
At the time when we saw it, because that was the only Justice League we were getting, my read on it was like, it functions well as a comic book movie, right?
Yeah.
It hits all the beats that it needs to. But in retrospect, after now seeing Zack Snyder's version, or the version, we'll just call it that.
Right.
The
Yeah.
version.
Yes.
Justice League doesn't have any soul. There's no heart behind it. It's just hitting the beats. Right. And that becomes a very stark contrast when you actually watch Justice League, the Justice League, because it's nothing but heart and soul. They put everything into that movie, and it shows. So my read on it at the time was like, this is what we got. It functions as a comic book movie, but even then, I was just like, it was very meh to me.
Yeah. Yep. Where you at, Brad?
I mean, yeah, it's I don't know. It was almost like they were trying to imitate something, but they couldn't quite do it. If that makes any sense. I mean, you see even some of the minor changes that happen in Zack Snyder's version that make a lot of difference. And even, the biggest one being the inclusion of Darkseid. I mean, something as minor as, Steppenwolf actually wears armor. I think in Josstice League, it was looked like his skin, basically.
Yeah.
There was no real material to it. So, I mean, just those small changes makes a big difference. And Kevin was right. It's that inclusion of like a soul or a heart to it. It was made by the Zack Snyder version is almost like made by a fan who had some love into it.
I mean, like they dropped the anti-life equation.
Yes,
they didn't have to do that. That was not necessary. Like they could have omitted that whole thing, but they threw that in there because they were setting up future stuff, and like they were like, well, the balls on this guy to go deep into the lore and bust out the anti-life equation. Like that's something that a fan would do. Like a person who's read the materials, like, you know what, we're going anti-life equation. Like that's a fan move, and Joss Whedon didn't have that. Like I don't think he's invested in the DC material in the same way. And they, like Brad said, they were definitely trying to imitate something. They were trying to hook into that MCU flavor. I mean, why else hire Joss Whedon if you're not trying to get into that territory?
Right.
I always had the feeling, because at the time, knowing that there was one director and there became another director, I always had the feeling that things weren't complete. Like there was things that were started that weren't finished, and you always kind of got that vibe. Like, I feel like there's something missing here, or something more was said here, and I'm not getting all that information.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Because I mean, from Man of Steel to Batman v Superman on, like he's laying tracks.
Yes.
For stuff that like he's going to allude to later. And even in this version, even in the version of Justice League, he's still pulling on threads. Like this dude had him and Chris Terrio had a comprehensive idea of where this was going. I mean, and it's the movie is so much more rich for it because there's enough substance there to keep you engrossed for 4 fucking hours.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the difference being, I watched the first version once, and I can't honestly think of I watched it again. And then this one, it's 4 hours long. I will probably watch it a second time sometime soon.
Yeah,
and I'll have no problem doing it.
No, not at all. Because I feel like there's still stuff I missed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can definitely get a better grasp a hold of things.
Right. I started watching it again Monday night, and I just wrapped it up today on my lunch break. And
nice.
And that's my third viewing. And on my third viewing, there's little things that I pick up on, for example, in Josstice League, Aquaman he's changed. His character is altered a bit to where he's like this. They really lean into the biker rebel kind of mentality, and they really church that up.
Yes.
Whereas in Justice League, Zack Snyder is actually, I think, giving Jason Momoa respect as an actor and saying, no, you get to dig into some meatier stuff. And the character feels different in this version that he did in Justice League. That's a testament. I think ultimately again, that goes back to the heart and the soul. Is like there's care in everything.
Right. Aquaman definitely felt very apprehensive in this film, where I didn't get that vibe in the Whedon one.
Whedon just kind of made him look like a dick who didn't want to play with friends.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Yeah. He didn't have an arc in that
not at all.
Well, without retreading what you guys all said, if I had to characterize the Justice League movie, I would say it was like watching a letterbox movie on a standard TV. Everything that was in the wings was just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like Brady said, you knew they were there.
Oh yeah.
You knew the whole time. You weren't seeing the whole picture.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was even. I remember the first time we watched it in the movie theater. I was like, okay, Justice League, cool, but it's not what we would have gotten. It's not the thing.
No.
And not to say that I was totally on board with everything right off the jump. I remember seeing Batman v Superman in the theater, and it kind of confused me. I was like, like I realized I was too stupid to wrap my head around it in that one viewing. So when it came out on Blu-ray and I watched it again, the more I watched it, the more I was like, I see, I'm getting it. And I was looking forward to that initially when Justice League was shooting and they were filming it. I was like, man, that's going to be more. That movie is going to make me earn the enjoyment because I'm going to have to think my way through it. When we got to see Justice League, it was like, oh, that was a movie. Cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's everybody's opinion here was kind of like, yeah, meh. It was
Yeah.
it was like cool. I got to see the continuation of the story. All right. Hey,
Yeah, thanks. I guess.
I think.
I saw Wonder Woman 3 times in the theater, and I saw Justice League once.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this dude is a huge Batman guy, and for him to say I only saw this Batman portion of this movie one time is saying something.
Mhm.
Right. And that was actually one of my biggest disappointments with Josstice League. Even when I first saw it, was like, man, I was so intrigued by this version of Batman from Batman v Superman because it challenged me as a Batman fan. Like
Right.
he literally crosses the line. And you're
Yeah.
not supposed to root for him in that movie. You are not supposed to think like, yep, he's got the right idea. You're supposed to be uncomfortable by the things he's doing and the actions he's taking. And I was wanting to see the completion of that arc. I wanted to see how Batman walked back from that.
Mhm.
And with the Justice League version, like it was hollow. They had one line in Justice League about Batman's guilt. One line.
Yeah.
Right.
There was no further digging into that. Like, I mean, come on, you left that on the floor. Like, you had this character who literally nearly killed Superman and might have inadvertently contributed to the ease of his death. Like, and you didn't pull on that. Like, you didn't think that'd be meaty subject material. You know. Anyway, I could slap Joss Whedon right now.
Do we want to bring up that extra little bit towards the end there with the alternate Earth?
Ooh,
With Joker, and you had
we're gonna get into that later.
all right.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have to forgive us. We don't have a format. So
Yeah.
like when we talk, it's like complete ADHD. It's all over the place.
No, that's why we have to have a format, or that
we do
would
the same
happen.
thing. And I am like the ultra prepared road guy. Like when somebody's like, "Hey, dude, I got shit stuck in my teeth," I'm like, "Don't worry, in my bag, I have fucking plackers." So
Yeah.
I'm that guy.
Right.
And like when we go on trips, all my friends say I'm the grown up,
Yeah, we always joke that he's the grown up in our friendship.
and I'm really not. I'm just such a petulant child that I know I have to prepare.
Yeah, I know. I get the feeling. I was a Boy Scout, so aside from the indoctrination, I have very much the same mindset of like everything has to be laid out before I do something,
Right.
Almost to an obsessive degree.
Yeah,
But
that's
anyway.
what this guy does. That's what this fucking guy does.
I mean, I was in the Scouts, and I just know how to make fire.
Hell
You
yeah.
took the important lessons.
I
Yes,
have
it
made
is.
fire.
You took the important lessons.
So fans overwhelmingly, of course, rejected the Justice League version and began bombarding social media with the hashtag release the Snyder Cut.
Mhm.
In February of 2020, Warner Brothers bent to the will of the people. Snyder began working on the film again shortly before the great lockdown of 2020. That's what I'm calling it.
The great lockdown of 2020.
The great lockdown.
I mean, I've
God.
heard people refer to it as the Backstreet Boys comeback tour or something.
Man, I gotta find something witty to refer to this last year, because if I don't, I'm just gonna scream.
Sweet ass sweet.
Sweet,
Boy
like
band
boy
sweet.
band ass sweet.
The Snyder Cut cost about $70 million to complete. The visual effects, score, and editing with new material were filmed around October 2020. The Snyder Cut was about 4 hours long. As we said earlier, this was originally supposed to be 2 films. How did you guys find the length of the movie? We touched on it earlier, but a 4-hour movie, a lot of movie.
I want more. I want more.
Yeah,
I want more people to be bold and do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let
I mean,
shit breathe.
Yeah, dude. Like my teenage years were spent watching Lord of the Rings and hiding awkward boners, right? So I am conditioned for long movies. Like I'm in for a penny, in for a pound. You want to make it 6 hours? Let's go.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
I'm sure everybody here can agree. Give me a 4-hour Star Wars movie.
dude, and tangent warning.
You do it, brother.
That was my biggest issue with Rise of Skywalker, right?
Yes.
I like
Yeah.
that movie. I
That's
like
a
that
good
movie. It's a good Star Wars movie, but was it sufficient to wrap up 40 years of storytelling?
New.
Not in that compressed manner. Because, like, I mean, I'm sure you guys felt the same way I did. The first half of that movie runs like breakneck pace. It's like whiplash. And then around the second act, that's when it slows down. And that second and third act is the strongest part of the movie,
right?
Because it's allowed to breathe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like, I think that when films need it, you should. Like, who cares about runtime? Like, the market has proved that there's a market for that. Lord of the Rings, Endgame, Justice League, Braveheart, Titanic. I mean, come on, we can keep going. Like, there's tons of long movies out there. There's a market for it if the material warrants it, right? Like, maybe Mortal Kombat doesn't need to be, maybe it only needs to be an hour 50. Maybe that's sufficient for it, But like, going back to Josstice League, that was an hour night. That was a 90-minute movie, way too short. It was over in the blink of an eye, right? So I think that it
was.
Yeah, I mean, so if the material deserves it, let it breathe, man. Expand it.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement with that.
Yep. I also think that the market is more than happy to take a 2-part movie. Look at how they ended Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Look how they ended the Avengers.
Yeah.
That was a 2-part movie.
That was a 2-part movie.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like, and it ultimately depends on the studio's willingness to trust the creator, right? To trust the director, to trust the team, to that they know what they're doing.
Sure.
And that they've got their finger on the pulse. And that was the unfortunate reality of what happened with Josstice League, is they thought they had their finger on the pulse, but they didn't. At least that's my reading of it. And the audience is ready for this, like, especially us geeks, man. Like, what's the one thing that we love about any material we get into? It's world building,
right?
Oh God, yeah.
Like, we want texture, we want history. Like, that's why Tolkien's work has lasted forever, like nearly 100 years, because it's dense. There's a reason these comic books are still popular, because it's dense. Like, that's what we want, especially in our films, at least nowadays, I think.
Right. Just Jen brings up too that a 4-hour movie's great, but there needs to be a limit on the slow motion scenes.
There was a shit ton of slow motion scenes in this movie.
We could trim about 10 minutes off this movie if we just ran shit at real time.
I'm telling you, that's Zack Snyder's bag, man. Like, he's like, I'm gonna make everything awesome by slowing it down
except
the time.
for the scene with Flash running around trying to come on Superman's blind side.
Yeah.
And he just kind of in real time, like, looks at him. It's like, you just fucked up, kid.
Yeah, I enjoyed that part.
Dude, I love that because, like, I mean, Ezra Miller sold the actual look of terror,
right?
Which is fair. Like, if Henry Cavill looked at me like that, I'd probably be both terrified and aroused.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have to be Superman when he does it.
No. I mean, that's a handsome dude. Like, that is a handsome dude. Like, if there's any justice in the world, he's rocking a micro penis. If there's any justice.
He's not.
I know. He is probably blessed. I mean, that dude's probably tugging around a root.
Right.
It's unfair, man.
It is, and he's making millions of dollars.
Right.
Good on him.
At least, Armie Hammer is kind of a piece of shit. So.
Yeah, the cosmic scales tip towards balance, right?
Right.
If I may borrow a Thanos saying.
Yeah, you can have that Lamborghini, but you're gonna get a flat tire once a week.
Yes. Oh God, that'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. If I saw a Lamborghini with a flat tire in my, like, busted up work truck that literally smokes, and I had to drive past that, I would roll the window down and just laugh as I butter past. Because, like, that's just, that's beautiful.
That's fucking classy. I like that.
I know.
The Snyder Cut was a substantial investment, and I understand HBO actually fronted the money for the project. In the first quarter of 2021, it appears HBO Max has increased their subscriptions from 20 million to around 60 million total. That much growth. How much of that growth do you guys attribute to, like, the Snyder Cut and Wonder Woman, and how much do you think might probably be natural growth?
You go take this one, Brad.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't think I would contribute most of it to probably past movies and the build up to something like this. I mean, yeah, we would all throw our money at a Justice League movie, clearly with the Josstice League movie, but I think we're willing to throw far more and do far more for Zack Snyder's and especially once we found out what was actually in it, we're like, oh yeah, do this more.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, clearly Wonder Woman 84 and Zack Snyder's Justice League had a role to play in the subscriptions. It'd be foolish to say otherwise.
Yeah.
But, like when I first got HBO Max, it was like 2020, like end of 2020. And I'm browsing through it. I'm like, man, this thing is actually fucking worth it, man. Like there's some awesome stuff on here, because I mean, like Game of Thrones is pretty fucking sick, right? So you can now watch that at your leisure. What else? I mean, all the HBO series that are on there, like The Newsroom and stuff like that I really enjoy. It's all there. It's worth your money. The fact that like they're doing these direct releases like Justice League and Wonder Woman 84, Godzilla versus Kong, or Mortal Kombat that's coming up, like that's just icing on the cake, right? Especially for lazy pieces of shit like myself. It's like, I don't have to go to a movie theater. I can just kick back right here. All right, what you got for me?
Well, with you having said that though, would you go see this in its entirety in the theater, even though you've already seen it?
Hell yeah.
I feel like that's missing. That experience is missing.
Yeah, it's weird. Every time a movie came out, Brad and I would schedule a day to go see it, and that would be our bro date, right?
Right.
Because I'm the Maz Kanata to his Chewie, and
beautiful.
I know.
I need that
like
on a t-shirt.
I like that Wookiee. Anyway, like we would, and like I always love going to the movie theaters. The movies are pretty special to me because when I went as a kid, that meant we had money to go to the movies, which was like aces. So I kind of relished the whole experience. However, what I've noticed in the last year of not going to the movies is like, yeah, you know what? There's something kind of nice about like watching it at home in a way, because like for me, I think I woke up the Thursday that Justice League released. I think I woke up at like 2 a.m. and started watching that thing because I couldn't sleep. And I don't get to do that in a movie theater. I don't get to be like, oh, it's 2 a.m. I'm gonna go see Justice League. I could just roll over and hit my phone and be like, yes,
right.
Like that's kind of cool. And like, and if there's one like turn the frown upside down moment of the whole pandemic, it's like we kind of got that.
That was my thing too, is because like you said earlier, I have 5 kids, so I'm a busy dude. So I had to watch this movie in 2 separate haulings. So I pretty much divided it in 2-hour increments and watched this movie. So it was nice being able to do that because, I do a podcast. You know what it's like. You guys are married, so you know what it's like to tell your wife, hey, I want to go do this other thing. I want to go watch a 4-hour fucking movie. That's a hard sell to my wife right now. You know what I'm saying? So being able to say, I can sit down and watch this in my own time, I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
I love having that option.
I take my wife to work at 4 a.m. and one day I didn't have to be at work till like 10 or 11. And so I sat down and I was like, I got to change this diaper. I've got to feed this baby this bottle. I was like, I'm gonna watch the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, I had the time to do it. I had something to do while I was watching it.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what this holds for the future of the cinema industry. I have no idea, and I think that's anyone's guess at this point.
Well, I think shows like The Mandalorian prove that it can go smaller scale and still look huge.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I think The Mandalorian was a game changer because it was such a massive gamble on Disney's part. They knew they had a good product. There was no way of knowing, like, okay, is this going to be a big hit that justifies we're going to do more of this? Or is this going to be one of those like one-off, this was kind of cool. And it turned out to be that giant hit that justified like, oh, now we can really dig into this.
Yeah.
So
I think The Mandalorian changed cinema.
I mean, and it very well could. It very well could. Like, I mean, just for my own part, I don't know if I'm going to go to the movie theaters to just see any movie. Like, if it was a new Star Wars movie, yeah, opening night, midnight showing, I'm there, right? Maybe some of the new Marvel movies, yeah, I'm there because I want to see that in the cinema experience. But like anything else, I'll wait for it to come out on the appy thingy.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, dude.
See, I'm the opposite. I get off on the going to the movie theater thing, like Paul Rubens.
That is the most amazing reference. I mean, that
was a mandatory joke.
buddy, that was chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. That's right. I mean, like, and believe me, I'm the same way. Like, there's nothing that replicates
nothing.
the sound, the vibe, the smell of the shitty stale popcorn, your sticky feet, some jackknob in front of you going, you know, like, yeah, there's things that you can't replicate at home. And that's kind of the charm of the movies. It's the event, right?
Yeah.
You know, like
an event. It is an event.
Yeah, like Star Wars opening night. I mean, we went to see Rise of Skywalker opening night. There's a palpable energy there that you don't recreate elsewhere.
People cheer.
The moment,
freaking awesome.
Oh yeah.
The moment Kevin heard that I had never been to an opening night Star Wars movie or anything, he's "Oh, we're going." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh yeah.
Star Wars was my IMAX cherry breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, we had an IMAX experience one time. What movie did we go see in IMAX?
I think it was
Brad.
Was it Wonder Woman?
It might have been Wonder Woman, because we went to this IMAX theater because it was the only theater we could go to. We were literally shoehorned into that shit.
Yeah.
And like we're spoiled bitches when it comes to movies, right? We go to the same movie theater. They have kick-ass reclining chairs. I wear pajama pants and slippers. Like I go all out, right?
The chairs are fat friendly.
Hell
Nice.
We go to this, dude. We go to this IMAX theater, and it's like the old school movie theater seats, like the box seats.
Oh yeah.
And we both looked at each other like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like the audacity.
No, you sat down and you're like, little snug. I'm twice your size. I sit down and I'm like, I don't fit.
Yeah.
I'm like I had to like insert the chairs here. I had to like insert myself going this way.
Oh yeah.
Like
to get under the handrail.
Well, I'm telling you right now, in the event that this ever happens again, I am always going to carry an emergency stick of butter just for him, just to grease him up and slip him right in there.
Cartoon
Joke's on
style.
you. I'm an automotive mechanic. Joke's on you. I'll carry a quart of oil.
Dude, let's mix it. Buttery oil? Yes.
You'll slip right in there.
Hell yeah.
WD Crisco.
Hell yeah.
Just astroglide myself into the seat.
And then I can make it super awkward and just like run my finger along your hip and
that's fucking classy.
I'm telling you.
That's a friend right there. Yeah. That's a fucking friend.
Like once you get to know me enough, I'm gonna mess with you. Like I'm gonna do some weird stuff. Like I'm gonna push the envelope.
That's fantastic.
As demonstrated by the Godzilla and Kong picture that totally got away from me.
That was so fucking funny,
dude.
Is it the Rule 34 one or the one where you're like, okay, yeah, I thought it was awesome and absurd. I was like, dude, this is great. And then I posted it on a lark, and it's got like 83 likes now. And like there's entire threads in there that have just gotten away from me. And I'm like, oh God, what the hell have I done? You post Rule 34, no one's gonna not like it, and it's gonna go places you never expected.
I love Rule 34. Every time I lose my faith in humanity, I remember that exists and everything's okay.
The backup rule is Rule 35. If there was no porn of it, there is now.
Oh no, I'm Googling that.
Oh, they have. I mean, there's I think 72 rules of the internet now.
Okay. We are throwing these dudes way off.
Oh no, we're used to it. It's fine, dude. You're good.
Yeah, off the rails.
Hell yeah, we go off the rails. It's all good.
All right, let's get into talking about the changes that we got in this movie.
Yes.
So the original aspect ratio was 16:9, which is pretty typical widescreen movie. And then the Snyder version's aspect ratio is 4:3. So we, instead of getting bars on the top, we got bars on the side. So it was intended, I guess, for IMAX. And I think he wanted to release it in black and white to boot.
No, there's a real reason he went for 4:3. I read that he went for 4:3 because a lot of the heroes and people, the characters, they're always long because they fly. So you see them from top to bottom. So you have a better stretch of that. You have a better stretch of that in this ratio than you would in the.
I think you mentioned
it. Yeah. And you know what? Thinking about Martian Manhunter's appearance in the movie, I can see him doing that.
Yeah. You get the whole scale of these characters.
Yeah. Oh, Martian Manhunter. What a flex.
That whole moment made me go.
I'm right.
Yeah.
Right.
That
That was
wife's like, who's Martian man? What? And I'm like,
dude,
shut up.
dude. Like that was Snyder unzipping and unfurling right there
Putting
on
it
the table, man.
He's like, check this shit out.
Yeah, it's my Martian dick. Yeah, like dude, that was amazing, dude. Oh god.
So did it bother you guys that it was in 4:3? Like watching it on your TV? Did it?
No, I get sucked in. I zone
Yeah.
in.
Yeah,
I block everything out.
Bars?
Exactly.
What bars? I didn't see no bars.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
It
when
took me about 10 minutes or so, and then they weren't there no more.
yeah, like once you've got the old fish hook in and I'm engrossed, like dude, I don't care what the aspect ratio is. Like, I mean, I guess I'm not that like into the film aspect of it. It's like, oh, whatever. It's on my screen. That's all I need.
Well, the mechanical part of it, I don't give a shit about. It was just my brain like wouldn't stop seeing it for a little bit.
Yeah, it's different. It's like watching it on like an older, smaller television screen, you know?
Right. Aquaman and Wonder Woman introductions are real close to the original ones. Aquaman's first scene is in the fishing village. It's a bit longer, has a little bit different dialogue. Wonder Woman's museum rescue has a different score and a more intense fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, she actually kills the bad guy at the end.
Ah, it's awesome. When she like splats that dude's head on the wall, yes, like just that's like a small touch. Like yeah, because that's what would happen if a demigod threw you. You're not just bouncing off that wall, bud.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean that's the thing because with you get real soft versions of these things, you know, throughout the years, and I think he made that decision with Batman of making him like that super hardcore and like doing shit that makes you uncomfortable and everything. I think it's almost like a kind of a nod to it's not your parents' Justice League type thing.
Yeah. I think like audiences now are mature enough to not be spoon-fed PG versions of these characters.
Have you been outside?
I mean, I'm just saying like those versions exist, right? Like if you want like the perfect Batman the animated series, that's your perfect Batman, right? But like you're mature enough now, you can handle some different versions, and they can get a little more brutal. Like why not? It
doesn't always have to be for kids.
Yeah, my favorite Batman is Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly, because like the Dark Knight Returns, the actual comic, is actually a really good reference point. It's a really good reference point because that was Frank Miller saying like, no, the audience is mature enough to handle something that's more adult, right? Like they can handle this. And it proved that. That is literally one of the most popular books of all time. And like, why can't that be translated in the films? Plus, I mean, think about the adult versions of comic book characters we've got since Batman v Superman, Deadpool, Logan, Watchmen,
Logan's amazing.
The boys. Like, I mean, there's obviously an appetite for it. Like, it goes back to the idea of like, let Marvel do Marvel. Like they've got that space kind of carved out. Go do something different.
Yeah, find your thing and do your thing.
Exactly. Right. Yep. And it's something that DC is kind of familiar with. A lot of their animated movies are pretty adult.
Yeah.
Right. I want a real noir Batman movie where he's a detective mostly.
I mean, I think you might be getting that with Matt Reeves' film.
I hope so.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It does look like the direction they're going in, which is cool. You know, I'm here for it. I like different iterations of characters. You know, give me what's your take on it? I know what the archetype is, right? Show me what your take is. You know, so I'm actually really stoked for what Matt Reeves is cooking up over there.
Oh, me too. That
Anybody
looks really
but
good.
Joss.
Yeah, just leave that guy out of it. Like, don't. Like, he was gonna do a Batgirl movie.
Lord, that just makes me uncomfortable.
Let him have his IP, but he's got to stay away from everybody else's.
Yeah, I mean, oh god, like just what a
feel like a parent with a rolled up newspaper is just no.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't touch that.
What a fall from grace.
Not yours.
Yeah.
Put that shotgun up.
No, give him a shotgun. Help him load it. Gotta learn sometime.
We see a substantial upgrade to Steppenwolf's armor.
So much better.
Hallelujah.
So much better. That part
Yeah.
when they shot him with the arrows,
Mm-hmm.
Amazonian shot him with the arrows and he flexed pretty much and they just all snapped. I was like, damn, this dude means business.
Yeah.
Right. I like the fact that it was not only like solid armor, but it was also shape shifting.
It was very Flight of the Navigator, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can
It
see
was
that.
very movable.
I thought the best touch with his armor was when he finally gets the audience with Darkseid, and you see the armor come down off his crown and like reveal his chest, like he's revealing his weak points to his superior.
Right.
I thought that was very good.
Yeah. And, like,
I noticed
here's
that.
another thing.
I took a notice of that.
Here's another thing about his armor. It behaves like the mother boxes do. It shape shifts, it moves, it's living.
Cyborg.
And even down to this, like certain shots of Steppenwolf, there's like this weird rainbow effect, right? That you also get on the surface of the mother boxes every once in a while. They have this weird multicolor spectrum effect that you also see in Steppenwolf's armor. Like, so they're both apocalyptic, right? It's showing the connection between these two things, which that didn't exist in the other crap version.
Right. I really dug too, like when he was getting ready to fight Superman, it got super spiky.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because like
It went
a
full
puffer
Beetlejuice.
fish. He went full puffer fish.
Yeah.
You don't ever go full puffer fish.
Dude, he was terrified. His Audi became an innie real fast.
Yeah, he was throwing it around until that point. He hit down on Superman. He was like, "Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
the
he
Kryptonian
realized
back.
he fucked up.
Yeah. Like that was one of those like, oh, I picked the wrong goddamn fight. Uh-oh.
Right.
Mama, no!"
Exactly.
all that after he reported to Darkseid. No Kryptonians.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
It's Kryptonian.
Yes,
There's
he's here.
Kryptonian.
There's a bad motherfucker right here.
Mm-hmm.
Steppenwolf's fight against the Amazonians is longer. Highlights more of their fighting style, which was super cool.
Yep.
It also shows the sacrifice the Amazonians made to stay behind so Hippolyta can escape with the mother box.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, that was like another section of the movie that was handled with care.
Right.
Yeah.
Super important.
Exactly. And like, yeah, more Amazonians. Like they're awesome. They are awesome. Like for a kid that grew up watching Xena,
Yeah.
give me more of that. It makes me think of Xena. I'm like, yeah, fucking A, Lucy Lawless. Fuck yeah. You know? So I dug the expansion on it. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. Because, you know, I guess and it's weird because I think in the theatrical version, I think the Amazonians put up a stiffer fight with Steppenwolf, whereas in Josstice League, you see that they're struggling. Like he's walking through them.
Yeah.
Which I think is perfectly paced and it's deliberate as hell because like now you're terrified of Steppenwolf. Like you now understand the extent of the shit that they are now in. It's sold better with that extended scene.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's like when you go watch a MMA fight or something and the guy goes down in the first round and you're like, but you were the fucking top bill.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just more evidence to why I don't fight ever. I don't. I know I look like I could hold my own, but I bet you anything I have a jaw made of glass.
I don't know how old you guys are, but
32.
32.
I'm 28. Almost.
Okay.
I'm 28 on the 22nd.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember Mike Tyson went to prison.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so when he got out, his first fight, I was at work. I was washing dishes. I might have been 16 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the fight was getting ready to start. I went back. I did my job for a little bit. I walked back out, and it was over. And I'm like, what the fuck? They've been talking about this for 6 fucking months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And oh boy was just
out.
Yep. No, Tyson was scary.
yeah.
Like he still is. If I saw him walking towards me, I would pee. Like
Right.
involuntary, just
65-year-old man. I just don't hit me.
He's what?
Yeah.
He's,
God, don't
he's
hit me.
Buddhist now, isn't he?
Well, I mean, he just fought recently. He did an exhibition
really?
fight.
Oh,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
he looked like old Tyson. Like
Yeah.
it
He
was
went the full show.
scary. And the fact that like the dude is his age, however many fights he's had under his belt, and he still has that chin. Like he can still take a punch. Like
Right.
you guys mentioned MMA, right? So you remember like when Chuck Liddell was at his reign, when he was just demolishing people left and right. Like if you stepped into that cage with him, you were like me, you peed a little. And then out of nowhere, he just starts getting knocked out. Like his chin just wasn't the same.
Right.
Like that's a thing that happens to fighters. Like they can take a punch for so many years, but man, after a while, it's just like, nope, done.
Yeah.
Tyson still getting clocked across the head. Like, well, whatever.
Yep.
Right.
You know, like
It can only take so many concussions.
yeah, the only guy that I think is going to be immune to that, if another tangent, Kamaru Usman, the welterweight UFC champion right now, like that dude is terrifying. Like the amount of punishment that guy has taken and just he's a Terminator. He is
Haven't
an
seen him
actual
fight.
Terminator. Dude, he's a
Is that
Terminator.
from 1 or 2? I wouldn't know either
Brad.
way.
Shut up, Brad. Shut up, Brad. You go to your room. Go to your room. No, go to your closet and pray. Go. Sorry, guys. The backstory is he has never seen Terminator 1 and 2, and every time he wants to break my heart, he just brings that up.
No, dude. What? That breaks my fucking heart, man.
All right, we're done here.
Yeah,
this
you
was
guys
a good
can just-
show, but it's over now.
I mean, just throw it. Throw him out. Throw him out. You know, I swear to God, like I literally have a Terminator tattoo. It means the world to me, and he just takes my heart and he steps all over it, and then he lights it on fire.
Dick move, Brad. Dick move.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That's not
And I can
good.
fix the problem too. I can still watch them like right now.
Oh no, that's the way I am. I love Trailer Park Boys. He loves Letterkenny, and I've watched 3 episodes of Letterkenny, and I refuse to watch Letterkenny just because he says it's a better Canadian television show, and I'm not letting it happen. It's not fucking happening.
I'm with Nooch on this one. Letterkenny is superior.
No, dude, okay, this episode is over.
Yep.
This episode is.
I'm sorry.
I
sorry.
fucking hate you guys.
When you have like, okay, I'm sorry. When you've got rolled is the gold of Letterkenny. I swear, that dude is the best. And then Glenn, oh my God, I have known so many scout leaders like Glenn that prior. Oh my God, it's amazing. That show is beautiful.
I can't let it
I
happen.
think the problem is Brady hasn't watched enough episodes that he understands the minutia.
You at least have to finish the first season.
Have you seen Super Soft Birthday yet?
Yes.
No. Wait, did he?
They have
Is that
the fight
first
at
3?
the end. Yes, they throw his birthday party.
Yeah.
They've been doing it forever.
And you weren't in love at that point?
I mean, it was good, but I'm saying, man.
You don't fucks with tradition.
Have you ever sneef off a stripper's ass?
I've Hoover Library schneef. I'm telling you, man. This is why I love that show. Okay, you guys remember King of the Hill?
Yes.
Okay, Letterkenny is live action King of the Hill set in Canada, just dirtier.
Yeah,
And and as a Texan, when you watch King of the Hill, it just resonates differently because you're like, oh yeah, that's accurate. That's really accurate. I have encountered people not from Texas that like they don't get that show, and I'm like, you're not supposed to. It's a Texan thing. Letterkenny strikes me the same way. Like Canadians just watch that and they're like, fuck, that's too close.
Yeah.
yeah. I love Letterkenny.
Hell yeah.
Anyway.
I'm not giving up my position.
One of these days, we're going to do an episode where he's going to pick 10 episodes of Trailer Park Boys, and I'm going to pick 10 episodes of Letterkenny, and we're going to go in our separate corners, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about it for real.
Yeah, but see, I'm the exact opposite with these shows because I've watched all of Letterkenny, but I've watched maybe 1 or 2 episodes of Trailer Park Boys, and I couldn't continue because I was like, no.
Oh, you're making me so. Oh,
I think personally, the only thing funny about Trailer Park Boys is Bubbles.
Bubbles is fucking awesome.
True. Yeah,
That's not the only thing funny. But we need to continue. You're fucking killing me.
All right. Diana's knowledge of the mother box comes from her finding a cave painting that explains the mythology of Darkseid, the anti-life equation, and the mother boxes. So we were supposed to just accept that. the Josstice League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
With-
again, it's just more context. It's
Right.
more things that build the story. These are building blocks.
Right.
And like, you're absolutely right, man. Like with Josstice League, it's just like, oh no, this is happening. Go with it. Don't question it. You know.
Right. Shh,
Yeah.
don't talk.
Yeah.
No words, only emotions.
Shh, it's okay.
You have your Wonder Woman. Don't ask questions.
Yeah,
Right.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Look how bright everything is.
Yeah,
Isn't this great for you? Isn't this what you wanted? Bright and funny? You want to see Batman laugh?
You know, that's the interesting thing that I don't have in my notes, but was apparent between these two versions. The Josstice League version, they brought up the light on all kinds of different exposures.
Mm-hmm.
They took a lot of the grittiness and
It didn't feel so dirty.
no, and like some of the scenes, like where Superman dies, it's got that muted yellow tone that's supposed to make you feel somber.
Right.
Yeah.
And they took all that out and just brought the light up and was like, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
It seemed like they wanted to go with a lot more comic relief, like a Marvel movie.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. No,
Yeah.
don't do that. Do your own thing.
Exactly. I mean, that's exactly what it was. It was like, because think back to 2017, the reputation of DC films. It's still a joke. It's still a trope. Like, oh, you're darker than DC, bro. Like that was the trope back then. So they were like, nope, we gotta hype up the brightness. And it just didn't feel connected to what had already come before. Because I think Zack Snyder is a bit of an auteur, and he's really into photography, and when he chooses colors and the way he lights things, he's doing so deliberately. It's not just like, hey, it would really fuck with people if we just tone it all down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not that kind of thing. Whereas Josstice League, that was one of those movies made by committee. It's just like, what's trending with the audience? What do we need to pump into this thing? And one of those was make it brighter.
Yeah. Marvel versus DC is like East Coast, West Coast rap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
And they're supposed to feel different.
They should. They should feel different.
Right. Like, especially by 2013 when Man of Steel came out, the MCU had already been established for 5 years, right? Like, you're 5 years behind that 8 ball. And what it felt like at the time was like with Warner Brothers and DC, it was like, no, we got to catch up. We got to catch up. Right. And like, now I see that, Zack Snyder was like, no, I've got a different thing. He had 5 movies planned, and that was it. That was going to be his arc of films.
Right.
He was planning on making these connected, but I don't think his intention was like, oh yeah, I'll build you a whole universe. No. Because like, you can't, there's only one Kevin Feige.
Exactly.
There's only one of that dude. Right. And he's a rarity, right? Like, you got to think about the people that are behind Lucasfilm right now. It's a group of people. Like with Marvel, it's just this guy who pops his head into the office. He's like, hey, Black Panther, make it work. And then pops his head out. You know what I mean? Right? Like, it's totally different.
You don't question when someone shits out a gold brick. You just pick up that gold brick and you cash it.
Right.
True.
Right.
True.
And Disney's right on that with Kevin Feige. He just keeps shitting golden bricks, and they're just like, okay, more money for the money truck.
Except for Resistance.
I need to give Resistance another shake at the tree. I need to give it another shake because
it's good, but it's room temperature meatloaf.
I feel like Resistance was made for it's a kid show to bring in more audience.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Right.
Well, like that ideology that Stan Lee had when he would sit down and talk to his creators, he's like, this book is somebody's first comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was somebody's first series, just like Rebels was somebody's first series and Clone Wars was somebody's first series. Yeah. And my first one was A New Hope. And, everybody comes in somewhere. Somebody, their first movie was The Force Awakens, and that's the tone for Star Wars.
Right. Every generation's got their thing.
Right.
And that's what, let's be real. That's what keeps Star Wars going. It's been over 40 fucking years, 4 goddamn decades. It's built in to be generational. It's why, it's kind of actually a good thing that there was so many years between trilogies because it gave the audience time to grow.
Right.
And then it gave the older audience time to produce the new audience. You know,
well, I mean, before I was alive when Phantom Menace came out. I wasn't alive for A New Hope, but my first Star Wars movie, because of my parents, was A New Hope. And you know, I can remember when Phantom Menace came out, and I watched it. But
yeah, Phantom Menace came out when I was in high school, and that was like. I remember the originals, but like that one came out when I saw that in the theater. Like that's my Star Wars, if you will. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy that feel. I love the trilogy. I love the OG trilogy, but the Phantom Menace, it spoke to me in a different way than it would speak to these old heads who watched, you know, those movies when they were in high school.
Right.
Now, I saw Empire when they were rerunning it in the theater for when Jedi was coming out. So that was my first, probably my first theater experience even, was seeing Empire.
Yeah. I mean, my first Star Wars in theater experience was Phantom Menace, and I was 11, if I remember correctly. So
you were perfect age.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my entry into the saga. The first time I watched Star Wars was in 1995, and it was the original trilogy prior to the special editions. And from the jump, I was like, that's a thing? But like my first real foray into Star Wars, like really in depth, was the Phantom Menace, and that's kind of like the thing that I'm a new content whore, right? You give me new stuff, I'm gonna gobble it up, right? And that's gonna become the center of my focus because I like world building. I like to see what are you adding to it, what are you enriching with this. So anytime there's something expansive like a new trilogy or a new series, I'm all about that new thing because I want to then absorb this new thing, go back to the old thing, and then change my context on that, change my perspective on that. Like
kind of like Rogue One changed the first Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Totally changed it.
For me, it invested me more in A New Hope. I was now more invested in that film because of Rogue One.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it leads in with a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
Right.
So far off track, bro.
I know. Like I just had a thought though. Like, can you imagine the actual confusion for someone if someone's first entry into DC films is Justice League?
Right.
Because of the buzz, right? There's people like that was like, oh, this is a trendy thing. Let's dig in. Let's see what this is all about. And that's their first foray into it. And then they, you know, maybe just for reference, they go back and watch Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. But then they see all the other stuff and they're like, wait, how the fuck does this all work? Like, it must be like confusing as shit for people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, imagine Kong versus Godzilla as the first foray into that universe, you know?
Yeah.
It'd be like opening the toy box of that kid in Toy Story 1 that makes all the fucked up monsters.
Sid.
Like, I don't know Sid. I don't know what to do with these. What is this pile of shit?
I'd play with the hooker.
We all know you would. That hooker's never being seen again.
Barbie doll with a Rambo arm and a flamethrower.
Yeah. He's gonna have to run that one under the sink a few times, if you guys know what I mean.
So, we get a new hierarchy of authority. Steppenwolf actually reports to Desaad, and Desaad reports to Darkseid. So we are left with a new big bad. Those of us who are DC fans, we knew that already, but like to the casuals, like they're like, what?
Yeah.
And what an awesome nod to Jack Kirby. Like, what an awesome, like,
Definitely.
these fourth world characters decide Darkseid, the new gods. Like, Zack's just like, yep, we're throwing all of it in there. And like, what an awesome, because like, I mean, yeah, we get those characters in some of in the comics, especially, and in some of the animated stuff, we get snippets of that. But for the broader movie going audience to be like, oh yeah, Kirby's getting some love here.
Yeah.
Like, that's just awesome.
I mean, we also got a Green Lantern appearance.
That was cool. I thought that was cool as hell.
It was in the first one, or in the Joss Whedon version, the Green Lantern was there kind of in the background, and somebody was like, oh yeah, I seen him.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
like he was up front center
Yeah, because you can tell, like in Zack Snyder's, he's actually mentioned and like you see snippets with him, but like you could kind of tell that when they changed directors, he was just like, wipe that away. It's like, no, we're not gonna go that far into it. It's like,
maybe he wasn't a big fan of the
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was.
Yeah, no. But like,
I don't hate that movie, but that's a conversation for another day.
It's kind of weird though, because like and Warner Brothers is still weird about it because an interview came out with Zack that like the additional scene that they shot at the end of the movie, that was instead of Martian Manhunter, that was supposed to be Jon Stewart's Green Lantern. He'd even cast a guy, he'd even filmed it, and and Warner Brothers was like, no, we don't want you introducing Green Lantern. Like we don't want that. You can do Martian Manhunter, but not Green Lantern. And it's like, obviously I know Warner Brothers is working on that Greg Berlanti Green Lantern Corps television series that's supposed to be filming. And we know nothing about it. We don't even know who's cast in it. Like we know jack shit. So, I mean, obviously Warner Brothers has plans for the Green Lantern Corps, but like, it was kind of a weird flex to be like, no, you don't get to do that. Which I was disappointed because I would love to have seen him just be like, oh yeah, boom, Jon Stewart.
How about another?
Exactly.
Right in the kisser.
Exactly.
I mean, that could just be because they have certain plans already made for Green Lantern. Again, with the TV series. I mean, maybe they've learned their lesson after Ryan Reynolds. I mean, Ryan Reynolds certainly did.
I don't know. I don't know.
To the point where just my favorite end scene of Deadpool 2 is where he just comes up behind himself. Bam!
Yeah. Shoots him while he's reading the script.
Blood splatters all over the Green Lantern script.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, like, he was a good Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. But he was born to play Deadpool. That dude was conceived and germinated in a lab just to play Deadpool. Like, that's his calling.
So we learn about the anti-life equation. The anti-life equation is the formula that basically gives the bearer control over every sentient being, which is why Darkseid wants it so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this becomes important later.
Oh yeah.
It was that information about what the anti-life equation does is not in the movie, and it should fucking be in the movie.
Yeah. Well,
it took me like 8 seconds to read that line.
Yeah. That's definitely one of those, like, I'm laying a thread that I'm going to pull on later. Right. And I mean, will that thread ever get pulled on? That's anyone's fucking guess at this point. But like, that's definitely one of those things that, because I know there was an exhibit in Dallas and they had the storyboards for Justice League 2 and 3. And it lays out in great detail, like how important the anti-life equation was going to be. I mean, that was going to be the thing what gave Darkseid control over Superman. I mean, that's a huge plot point. And as it stands isolated on its own, that's just a big nerd flex. Like, yeah, the anti-life equation. We're gonna throw that on you bitches too.
Right. We get to see Victor back when he was a scientific genius football prodigy in college. Before the car accident that killed his mom and left him close to his dad. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. In the Josstice League version, didn't his mom die in a lab accident? Or am I thinking about the TV show?
You're thinking of Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
Yeah. So in Doom Patrol, she dies in a lab accident. You don't, with Josstice League, you don't get any of that backstory with Victor.
No, at all.
Which is probably, honestly, that's probably one of the top injustices, pun intended, about what happened with Justice League is that so much of Cyborg and Ray Fisher's performance was Frankensteined and chopped out of there. And that's such a disservice to that guy because he swung for the fucking fences. Like, Ray Fisher was like, I come hell or high water, I'm hitting a home run with this, and he's going to chew the boot leather. And that's exactly what he did. He is the beating heart of this film. Like, he is one of your major emotional anchors to this film. He's the guy that's going to make you feel something. Like that scene with him and his mom in the car, and the minute she brings up his father and his situation, like just that fucking turn. I get goosebumps talking about this. The turn that Ray Fisher makes, and you can see the tears welling up. That is such a genuine fucking performance. It gives me chills.
Yeah,
and
it was good stuff.
It's a small moment. It's a small moment, but it's so rich. Like that dude killed it in this film. Killed it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. In fact, it's pretty ridiculous that Joss thought that he could take that out and still leave some soul to the movie.
Exactly. That was where the heart was ripped out of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
There's just so much about, like, dude, I'm sorry, but like, as a guy that has mental illness, his line at the end of the film, "I'm not broken and I'm not alone," every fucking time, that just spears me right in the gut. It is so powerfully delivered. Ray Fisher deserves every bit of praise for his portrayal of this character. Every bit of praise.
Yeah.
Yep. It was excellent.
If he was here right now, I would let him have his way with me.
Ooh.
However he wanted to do it. Like, yep, you've earned it, pal.
Ooh, Kev's got jungle fever. The discussion to bring Superman back to life involves the whole team this time instead of just being an argument between Bruce and Diana. That seems so much more legit to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That they, if we're going to make a team. Oh, yeah, but we'll make this decision without y'all.
Exactly. Even the detail they gave to like how the mother box works, what it actually does. You could tell that they were pulling that from the lore, whereas with Josstice League, it was like, no, just accept the fact that this box thing is going to bring back Superman somehow, however we're going to do it. And there's an actual tension in the film leading up to Superman's resurrection that if you had never seen Josstice League, if you've never seen that version, you would be on the edge of your seat during that sequence of the film, just because there's a tension between all the characters. There's a tension with the audience, because like if you've never seen that version of Justice League, you don't know what's going to happen when they do this.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it actually,
I still felt it.
Oh yeah. Like that shot of Batman kind of hanging up on that construction rafter, and you see him just looking down. There's that shot is intentional. It's meant to show you that like Bruce Wayne wants this to happen more than anything because he wants to make amends. He wants to right a wrong, and he knows that they need Superman, and he's willing to move heaven and earth to do it. The same heaven and earth he was willing to move to kill him, he is now going to move to bring him back.
Yeah, and it definitely makes it a point to show that Batman knows that he's willing to die to make this happen, if that's what brings the group together and saves the world, essentially.
Yeah.
That was kind of thing in the Josstice League, because in that one he confronts Superman like he's ready to die, but then at the end he calls Alfred. He's like, bring Lois.
Oh God!
Yeah. Stop the ass beating, please.
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm done. Tap.
Oh, the cringe.
And then, like in this version, he's actually ready to die, and then Lois comes up on her own, which I feel is a lot more powerful because she's not brought to the Superman memorial; she's there already by chance
every day,
and she runs to Superman on her own. It's not she's brought to him.
Exactly.
This movie showed her pain in a real way.
Exactly. I mean, even going back to the scene between her and the Martian Manhunter, obviously the Martian, John Jones had read Martha Kent's minds. He was able to actually tap into her emotional state and everything. But just that scene was so fucking like well written and well executed because it's grief. It's these two people who are grieving the same person, and like their grief is so much more powerful than the world's grief. Like the world is grieving because they lost this hopeful symbol and their champion, essentially. Mm-hmm. They lost someone they loved. And the fact that Lois Lane goes back to that memorial every day, gives the same cop a cup of coffee because she's still living in that grief. Like damn Joss Whedon for cutting that out too. Like,
yeah, it's because bringing that coffee it was like a way for her to anchor herself in that moment. She's grieving, but she's also not letting herself move on. So the repetitiveness of it is what basically keeps her in that time and day.
Right. We've already kind of talked about the Martian Manhunter thing and how much we all appreciated that. Superman uses his heat vision against Batman when he sees him again, which is a bit more intense than the way it happened in the original theatrical version.
Yeah, because in the original theatrical version, Superman's playing with Batman, right?
Yeah.
He's playing with him. In this version, like it also sells the fact that like when he comes to, he doesn't know who he is or where he is yet.
Right,
like the computer's still booting up, like batteries on, shit still loading.
He's a caged or a cornered animal at that point.
Exactly. And like he's not trying to play with Batman, he is trying to kill him. And like Batman created those gauntlets, I guarantee you, with a little bit in mind, like, you know, if someone else has heat vision, I might want to be prepared, or else I'm just going to be turned into a crispy bat, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and
the
again,
thing with
I also like
it was cool too.
Yeah, it's more like of Batman being inventive, right? Like he's always.
They kind of reminded me somewhat of Tony Stark, always thinking ahead. Oh, this failed. I need to fix this. I need to be prepared for next time.
Well, that's Batman to a T. Batman and Tony Stark are mirror images.
Well, I come more from the Marvel universe than I do the DC universe, so that's where I draw my comparison.
Well, I mean, you can ask Tony Stark the same question that Flash asked Bruce Wayne: is what's your superpower? I'm filthy rich.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I'm rich and I know stuff.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, I love the fact that this is a cinematic version of Batman that was not altogether unlike. Like, not altogether unlike the Nolan verse Batman, who he's always prepared. Like, this dude has a plan for a plan for a plan for a plan.
Yep.
Right.
And that is one of the trademarks of Batman. It might be a trope, but it's a trademark of that character. Is like, this dude has thought of every scenario because he's fucking smarter than
he has a plan to kill everyone in the Justice League.
I was about to say that's in some universes that's what keeps him from joining the Justice League. In others, it's basically what keeps him from being invited in the first place.
Yeah.
Superman's interest in the final fight is way better in this version. Instead of saying he's a big fan of truth and justice, Superman sizes up Steppenwolf and says, "I'm not impressed."
I know. I'm telling you, man. Like the re-entry of Superman back into the fray was handled so well. Everything from like you see how he's slowly kind of becoming himself again. Like it's starting to come back to him here and there, and he's going back to things that are familiar. To the scene where he actually goes back to the ship and gets his suit. I love the interplay of Russell Crowe's dialogue and Kevin Costner's dialogue, and even new dialogue. Like Clark is now imagining what his dads would say. And it's the thing that's fueling him. And that entire montage where he takes flight again in the black suit is just Trey magnifique.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to ask, in Justice League, did he have the black suit?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, he had his regular suit, didn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't the black suit just Zod's uniform, but with the hope symbol thrown on it?
I don't know.
No, it's basically it was for his it was a solar power. It helped him get the sun, get
absorb
the
sunlight. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
It makes sense. Black absorbs sunlight.
Yeah. It explains it more in the comic books.
Yeah. I mean, and let's be real. It just looks fucking tits.
Oh, yeah. It looked cool as shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Black Suit Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I will say I miss the point where he flies in and goes, "This guy's still giving you trouble," and just decks Steppenwolf. That was just my favorite moment from the Justice.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
But like
that was one of the that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
I know it did. It's just there's just something about the attitude behind it. It made me laugh.
Well, it's because like in that moment they were trying to make Henry Cavill be Christopher Reeve. They're like, no, be that Superman, right? Because that's the gold standard of Superman. Like when you think of Superman in a film, everyone's going to think of Christopher Reeve, for better or worse. Well, I mean, let's be real. No one's fucking thinking about Dean Cain, right? Like, fuck that guy. But like everyone thinks of Christopher Reeve, and that's what they were trying to do because everyone's complaint at the time was like, Superman wouldn't be like that. He wouldn't save that. Like this was a Superman in this film that had completed his arc. Like he literally says it. I've been given a second chance. I'm not going to waste it. Like this is the guy that is no longer concerned with how the world sees him. He is only concerned with doing what he knows is right. Like he had no obligation to go back to the League after they resurrected him. He could have said like, whoa, that was a close shave. I'm just going to chill now. You know, like he could have, but he's like, nope, they brought me
back for a reason.
And I got to find out why. Like, because that's the right thing to do. He has become the character that Jor-El and Jonathan Kent wanted him to be.
Yes.
In that moment.
Yes.
Yeah. Weird that a character has an arc.
Yeah. It's, it's a movie.
Weird.
Story.
Yeah. The fuck is that?
So the Flash is not able to help Cyborg in time at the end. He's able to run really fast and rewind time. Now, those people that are out there that are actual Flash fans do know that he eventually becomes fast enough that he can shatter time, essentially, which is how we end up getting the Flashpoint series.
Which is so cool.
Yeah.
Don't make me get my books.
And look, like that was what Snyder was clearly setting up. Like you don't like hinge the ending of this film on his ability to bend time for nothing. Like you're doing that on purpose because like clearly they were aiming towards Flashpoint at that time. They were aiming Ezra Miller in that direction. Right. And it's honestly that's one of the best Flash sequences you'll ever see in any medium whatsoever. That is brilliant, brilliant.
Well, and I think that broke it up. Like the fact that he couldn't make it back to Cyborg the second time and that he had to rewind time in order to do it, I feel like that tipped the hat more because he literally just did the same thing to bring back Superman.
Yeah, that was their tease of it because you see the mother box slowly come back up.
Right? Yeah, and I mean, well, and I'm not even so much like the rewinding time, just the fact that, he runs and he hits Cyborg with this power surge, or he hits the box with this power surge, and it's supposed to give him a jolt of energy. I feel like if they did it a second time, it would have been redundant.
Yeah.
But the fact that he had to fail the first time and then rewind time to get it done the second kind of broke it up a little bit, and it made it better. Right. And I think that like if you didn't have a frame of reference onto this film, if you had not seen if you had not seen the theatrical version of Justice League, that moment where they lose, they do not get to the unity and they do not split the unity in time. They lose. Well, and you actually have to see when he rewinds time, you have to see even Superman get reassembled. Right. Like you see his bones, his sinew, the meat, all that. Right. Like, so imagine if this would have come out in 2017, this full version that we have now, and it predated what they did with Infinity War. Right? Like when we watched Infinity War in the theaters, you're like, oh no, they lost. Like they fucking lost. Right? And you're left with that feeling of like, well, wins out of my sails. Like they could have beat them to the fucking jump. You know what I mean? Like in that moment, if you had no frame of reference, you'd be like, oh my God, no, they fucking lost. They weren't able to do it in time. And Darkseid they won. That was brilliant. Brilliant.
It gives you a real sensation of the stakes. Because superhero movies have a tendency to leave us feeling like it doesn't matter what the heroes do, they'll always prevail because they're the heroes. Right. You need to see them have a catastrophic fail now and again. So know that it's life and death for them too. Oh yeah. It's not just them saving us. Like they're on the line too. Right. And then like think about the parallels to life, right? Like sometimes shit just doesn't work out. Try as you might, you can still fucking fail and you could fall flat on your fucking face. Like with this superhero IP, yes, we like the whiz bang and the popcorn and we're like, yeah, woo. But what keeps us coming back is the emotional anchor, the human anchor, the element that makes us think like, I get that. So in order for that to be viable long-term, you've got to fuck these characters up here and there. Like you've got to put them through the ringer because it's the seeing them come back from that. It's the climb back to the top. That's what makes it relatable to us. Because it's like, no, if they can do it, so can I. Every once in a while, you got to make Empire Strikes Back. Right. Again, George Lucas, ahead of his time. Brilliant man. As soon as the Flash touches Cyborg, with the supercharge, we see Victor inside the boxes, where he sees himself with his parents the way things were before the accident. This was one of those cool cinema tricks where they put a character in a situation where they have to decide between what they always wanted and what actually is.
Exactly.
And those moments always hit good.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, that's the one. That is the emotional gut punch of the film for me. Every time that scene comes up, it's just like it's like a 10-inch heel just right on the giblets every time.
It kind of reminded me of the moment in the CW Flash show where Barry had the opportunity to save his mom, and he knew that if he did it, he fucks up everything for everybody else. And so he had to watch his mom die a second time.
Right. And it's also Victor Stone's moment of acceptance. It's like this is who I am now. I'm not a monster. I am me. I'm not broken. I am not alone. I am the master and commander of my life. That is the completion of his arc. And in doing that, he saves everyone. And yes, that is a common fetish. And and listen, as long as it doesn't involve kids or animals, I don't care how you pop your boner. I am a full supporter of it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
If you're into the kink stuff, bless you, because the world needs you.
Steppenwolf's death in this movie is brutal. Way more than Joss's version. Like it's just vicious.
Did he die in Joss's version?
Beats him to a fucking pulp.
He beats the shit out of him.
And then Diane cuts his fucking head off.
I loved it.
God,
he didn't die in Josh's version, did he? I thought he just disappeared into a boom tube or something.
And you might be right.
Yeah, I don't think he died in Josh's version.
Yeah, he might have ran away with his tail between his legs.
Yeah,
no, he survived.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. Because like the way he got murked in this film,
right?
Yeah.
It's like it's the most metal thing I've ever seen in a comic book movie.
And it's just
like it was
like
awesome.
the end part of being crushed under Darkseid's boot.
Yes, you could have put some Cannibal Corpse to that, and it would have worked perfectly, or some Amon Amarth, and just like cranked it to 11, and I would have been turgid. Exactly. Hell yeah! Like I want that. I want a back tattoo of Diana just hacking his head off, and I want that not only a back tattoo. I want it painted on a busted up old van too. Like we're going full metal here.
Now, I do want to bring up, we brought up earlier, we talked about the Amazon's fight against Darkseid and how it kind of came up one-sided, but it does lend that comparison in power to Diana to a regular Amazon, and Darkseid even acknowledges that after their first meeting, you're an Amazon, but more. So,
yeah. And dude, the way they handled the action sequences with Wonder Woman in this film, just pitch perfect. Because even when she fights Steppenwolf, you realize that she's not as strong as him, but she's holding her own. It's like watching Rocky fight Apollo Creed. It's like it's almost neck and neck, even though you realize that one person is obviously got the edge. And it's done very well, and to where I don't know. I just respect the way they choreographed her scenes, and the way they made her move and fight in this was just brilliant.
Yeah,
definitely. In the epilogue, we see confirmation that Lois is pregnant. Between the bassinet, Bruce leans to her and says, "By the way, congratulations." And then there's the pregnancy test in her nightstand.
Yep.
So we're gonna in this storyline, the logical progression is we're gonna get twins.
Right.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where there was rumors prior to the Snyder Cut being a legitimate thing that was going to happen, is that it's Bruce's kid. Bruce and Lois had a thing, but in this version, you're like, no, that's clearly Clark's kid, because I think Zack Snyder himself said that Justice League takes place 6 months after Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
So at that point she's around 6 months pregnant or so. So I like that because it's just more threads that were going to be pulled later. So as much as I like it, it's also torture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
As long as they bring in crypto, I don't care.
Hell yeah, let's see that
dude.
dog.
Yes,
Now,
man.
Before we go too far from that, because we're getting real close to landing this bird.
Mhm.
If you guys haven't seen the Superman and Lois show on CW,
Haven't yet.
it's worth a watch. It's good stuff.
Yeah, you've told me that before.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
Lois and Superman, their boys are teenagers at that point.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always down for the CW stuff. Like, I know some of it's a little hit and miss here and there.
Yeah,
but they get it. They get the source material and they do it justice. Like Legends of Tomorrow is one of my favorites because it's just so fucking absurd and it's unabashedly absurd. They're like, no, we're fucking weird and we lean into it. Like, I love that. Yeah, so it's definitely on my watch list. It's definitely up there.
It's worth checking out. Batman has a nightmare about the future, and it's intense. Batman failed to protect Lois from Darkseid, and then he killed her. And then Darkseid uses the anti-life equation to make Superman essentially his bitch. And Superman's hunting down the Justice League one by one.
Yeah, that was literally the plot of Justice League 2. It was going to be the nightmare world.
Yep.
I'm really thankful that we got that epilogue, that was additional. That was an additional scene that was shot literally in Zack Snyder's backyard. Like, I kid you not, it was literally shot in his backyard.
No shit. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons, like, he was able to do it on the cheap. He didn't have to rent out a big studio space. He just made it work right there. But it's literally one of my favorite Batman Joker interactions because like the moment where Batman says, and make no mistake, I will fucking kill you.
Right.
Like that part, there's part of you that's like, oh, Batman, scandalous. But then there's the other part of you that's like, fuck yeah, threaten him again. Do it again. Yeah. Because like
threaten him harder.
I'm telling you, like, and I got to give it to Ben Affleck, dude. He sells that line. He sells like he has told someone that before. He is,
or what was it? Be careful what you say. Be careful what you say next.
Yeah,
stop being careful.
Be careful of the next words that come out.
Yeah,
right. And to be fair, let's give some credit to Jared Leto, right? Because Jared Leto, I feel, was never given a fair shake as the Joker.
Okay, so that was Jared Leto, right?
Yeah. That was Jared Leto, and I got to give him.
Now I officially like both versions of Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah, I mean, I always dug what they were getting at with Suicide Squad, but I always felt like, okay, there was a lot left on the floor, and clearly we all know that there was a lot left on the floor.
I was about to say, didn't they cut out like
a lot,
20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes worth of Leto Joker at least.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't butcher David Ayer's movie to the extent that they did Justice League, but it's fucking up there.
They're saying, there's been that whole push this whole time that people want the Ayer cut too. So.
Oh yeah, because I want to see Jared Leto get a fair shake at it. Like, the dude knows how to act. Like, he's a good actor. So let's see what he was really getting at. And I think with the epilogue scene, you kind of get it. You get a little more of what he was going for with that Joker, and it works. Like, he sells a demented, like nihilistic Joker.
But at the same time, this Joker has some like shit behind his eyes. Like, he's been affected in the same way that Batman has been in all this.
Yeah.
In Suicide Squad, the scene at the table with, was it DMX? Who's the guy?
No, it was the dude who played Spawn.
Common.
Yes. He's sitting at the table and there's the moment.
That's right. It was Common.
Yep.
Yeah.
Common.
I was thinking the dude Spawn for some reason.
He says one too many things about Harley, and you watch that switch flick in the back of his eye. He sells that so good. And it was one of those moments where I was like, oh, that dude can act.
Oh yeah. And like,
because
it's also
at that moment I was scared.
Yeah.
I wasn't even in the room.
Right. And it's no accident that Batman brought up Harley Quinn in that moment, because he knew, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna dig this guy deep. And that's one of the things that makes it such a great interaction, because they both know Joker knows what's going to trigger Batman, and Batman knows exactly what's going to trigger Joker. Like, they are in each other's heads. I want more. All over my face, neck, and chest, please.
Yes, feed this baby bird.
Yes, god damn it, please.
Oh geez, Lunar Girl says that DMX has contracted COVID. Like that motherfucker almost just died from something else.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He's having a rough go of it.
Yeah,
he's having a rough go. So all those little bits, and the Whedon verse or the Josstice League, in your head, what's your overall take of this movie? Like if you had to sum it all up, like where are you at on this version of this movie?
Go, Brad.
Oh, I wish this was the one that came out. I wish we got this one. I want the other two 4 hours. Don't separate this into two movies. Just leave it 4 hours. That's fine with me. No, I want to see more. The fact that we had to, as a fan base, like more or less pressure them into letting us have this version. I'm like, are they really going to let us? Like, are they going to let Zack Snyder make the others? Are we going to see more of this? Because I'm invested more in Zack Snyder's than I am Josh's. Honestly,
yeah,
I'm so much more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm glad we have it because by rights, this shouldn't exist. By rights, this cut of the film shouldn't exist. We should never have seen this, but we did. And I also think that in a good way, it has brought to light a lot of the failings of traditional movie studios and how they interact with creators. I think that moving forward, did I miss something?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Carry on.
I'm sad now. Anyway, like I what they should take away from this is lean into your creative people. If they've got a vision, see it. Now, I don't know. Here's the tricky thing. Here's where I get tied up in knots. If this is the version that would have come out in 2017, would it have been as well received as it is now? Because I think as it is now, we wanted the audience, the broader comic book movie audience, we want something different. We want something that is not the standard formula. We are going in more for the odd visions, the Jokers, the Deadpools, the Logans. That's kind of where our appetites are at.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was where our appetite was at in 2017. I don't know if it would have been, it had the same impact then as it did now. Now I'm with Brad. I want to see more, but I mean, there's a whole lot of moving pieces to whether or not that happens.
Right.
I mean, it's anybody's guess.
Right.
Yeah. After living through the 2020 pandemic, it's kind of hard to look at somebody and go, no, that's too dark.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like we've seen it, bud. We've been in dark for a while.
Yeah, like most of us know people or new people that aren't here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, dude,
like, well,
oh yeah, like in 1 year, we've lost a shit ton of people. We've had lockdowns. We've had to change the way we work, the way we interact with people. We've had to change the way we grocery shop. I mean, just for us Texans, we got snowed in for a fucking week.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Awesome.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
Yeah,
It was awesome. I'm used to Missouri weather, so I'm just perfectly fine with it. That was awesome. I was out driving.
Dude, I was fine with the snow until my power wouldn't come on.
Right.
That entire week is still a blur, right?
Yeah.
So given that and everything else we've been through, your movies, they're not going to be dark enough, bud. Like they're not.
Right.
They're not. Like bring it.
Those of us up here in Michigan were like, yeah, I mean, they got some snow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like,
And
oh, it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what it should have been. It should have been like, ooh, cool snow. Not like, oh, our entire power grid has failed because of,
I was about to say, that's because Texas privatized the whole thing.
Yeah, it's probably time to tie that thing into the national grid.
Yeah, that would make sense, which is exactly why Texas is not going to do that, because it's kind of a fundamental rule as a Texan. It's like whatever conventional wisdom says you do. Nah, man, fuck that. We're going to do our own goddamn thing. You!
Yeah.
God damn it, Bobby.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. So here wrapping this up, how do you think this is going to affect the relationship between filmmakers and the studios that fund it? You think it's going to have an effect on how much artistic license they let some of these guys walk off with?
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I kind of do, but I can also see it where like, I can see it where if someone like if a director doesn't get the vision that they wanted to put there, and the studio like cuts them off from it, I can see directors starting to reach out to the fan base.
Yeah.
In some situations, I'm not saying it's going to happen all the time. I'm not going to say it's going to be a bad thing either, but I can see it happening. Because
like if a movie comes out bad, they just go, no, the studio fucked.
Yeah, the studios. Right. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like when like if a student fails, it's the teacher's fault, kind of thing these days. Right. It's like now if the movie does bad, it's not the director, it's the studio.
Right.
Well, I mean, like there is some merit to that, right? Because if you look at the DC films, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman have aged well over the years. They have kind of grown their audience. People have kind of clued into what they were getting at. It's like, okay, I'm digging it now. Every DC movie that did poorly was one that the studio was like, nope, chop it up. Let's turn this into a fucking weird mash stew. You know, every DC movie that did poorly was interfered with by the studio. Even the Hobbit films, like Warner Brothers was fucking with Peter Jackson with that one too. And it was not as well received as the Lord of the Rings, where he had complete license to do whatever he wanted. You know, I think at the end of the day, within the studio structure, you need to have people that understand what creators are trying to get at, and they need to have faith in that. You know, and even if one film, if a director's got this, like say the Mortal Kombat shared universe that you guys were talking about earlier, right? Say that like, okay, that's what we want to go. But say Mortal Kombat doesn't do all that hot. Well, it's entirely likely the studio's like, nope, abort, pull the shoot. Where it's like, maybe you just stick with it. Maybe see what they're getting at. Because the audience is going to grow with the material.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I mean, we also thought that would happen when Marvel was starting to do so well, because, you know, Marvel blew up. I mean, within a couple of movies. So, I mean, we thought that was going to happen when Marvel did so well, but then we still had all this crap with WB.
Well, think about the counterpoint to the Marvel thing, right? Like one of the reasons that Marvel had so much steam behind it is because it was never done before. No one had ever tried to create a shared universe of films that expansive and that interconnected to such a degree, right?
True.
And there was kind of I don't want to call it a novelty, but I can't think of a better word. There was a novelty because like every time a Marvel movie came out, us as the audience were like, well, we got to see where this goes now. But look at what Marvel's doing now. WandaVision is radically divergent from anything they had done prior. Falcon and Winter Soldier is touching on some stuff that they had never tried prior. Loki is going to be fucking batshit.
It is.
I mean, they're doing Eternals, right? Like they're busting out the Eternals. Like Marvel is now wading into those waters of like, let's see what we can do to push the IP. Let's see what we can do to push the
let's get fucking weird.
Yeah. You know, because like you can only do the same thing for so long before like it's going to lose steam. So you've got to kind of divert direction. You got to do some different stuff. Yeah. And you know, clearly Warner Brothers is trying to do that with its DC films, like lean on the creators and, you know, do something different. Marvel is now, I think, starting to move in that direction as well. Yep. But I mean, it's all good for us because we're just going to get a whole lot of different flavors of comic book.
Right. And we might get exactly the opposite, where now that we've gotten this far, we might see DC funnel into a stream.
Yeah.
While Marvel just starts fucking fire crackling all over the place.
It's true.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, either way, we win.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Nerds win again.
I'll just open my wallet and show up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I have paid for somebody's salary at Disney.
I'm thinking.
No shit.
Haven't we all?
Yeah.
I think we have. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. So we really thank you guys coming on.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. It was a good time. We definitely have to do this again.
Hell yeah.
This was fun stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, next time maybe your house.
Hell yeah.
Sure. Sure. Come on down to Texas. It's hot and humid and everything's trying to kill you. It's great.
I lived in New Mexico. I know what's going on over there.
Right.
Oh yeah. But at least New Mexico has these things called topographical features, which are lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. Texas is like
We're like-
Australia light.
We're like
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
Australia,
We're like Oklahoma with the AC turned up too high.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Nice, guys. All right.
All right. Thanks for joining us,
Take
fellas.
it easy.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Everybody make sure that you like this video. Throw us some kind of review, 5-star, 2-star, no star, slap your star, whatever you got to do.
Slappy star.
It
Love
helps people find us. And if you do, we'll read it live on the show. We totally forgot to ask the Force Loser guys where they can be found.
Oh my God. And I totally told you to make sure we fucking
I
did.
did. Yeah, totally.
We'll get that information in the escape pod.
I know that they're at Force Losers on Twitter.
Yes.
Check them out on Twitter. I'm pretty sure they're on Instagram somewhere.
I know Kev is Heavy Lift Kev on Instagram.
Yes. Yes. Please make sure that you subscribe to us anywhere that you can find us. You know, whether that's your podcasting app or YouTube or I don't know, your uncle's basement.
If that's where you find us, that's where you find us.
Brady, tell these guys where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at lowercase o0 capital BIG _ capital LOVIN 0 lowercase o.
Nice.
Don, where can they find you, buddy?
You can find me at Jetfire1979 on Twitter and DellaSnooch on Instagram. You can find us and other great podcasts like the Force Losers
Hell yeah.
at red5network.com.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
May the Force be with you.
And go blue.
Go blue.
That's all that's left, and I gotta pee.
Yeah, he does.
This podcast is part of the Red 5 Network. For more Red 5 Network podcasts, visit red5network.com.